Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who gave me love in my previous video, and if you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link down below in the description box. So without further ado, let's get into today's video, and we're actually going to make yet another breakfast option, but this time around it's for when you have more time, for example during the weekend. So let's get into it. So guys, we have all our ingredients here, and today we are going to be making a very hearty meal. So it's going to be in different layers. So we're going to start with toasted bread, then the next layer after that is going to be fried mushrooms with onions, and then after that is going to be a fried egg, and then to top it all off we're going to have fried bacon and avocado on top. So to start with, I have my bacon is actually frozen, and I wanted to share a tip with you guys just because I know many people use their microwave to defrost their bacon, and normally, you know, heat plus plastic is not a very good combination. So what I have is I have a baking dish here filled with water, and all you need to do is just immerse it for like 5-7 minutes, and it's just going to be defrosted. So when that is happening, I will move on to chopping my onions and preparing the mushroom and the onion first before moving on to the egg and finally to the bacon. So we're ready to fry. I'm just gonna switch that on. Then we have the sliced onions, and I didn't make them cube because I want them to be nice and long and lengthy on the piece of bread. We have our mushrooms, and then I've also decided to add some garlic, which you will be seeing shortly. So we're starting with the onions. I'm just going to add a bit of oil. Not too much, just a bit. So we're just going to fry the onions a bit until they're golden brown, and then we add in the mushroom. So as that is frying, I'm just going to get the seasoning, and I am going to be using some salt. I use pink Himalayan salt. You can get this from Healthy You, and I think Carrefour, I'm not so sure, but it's healthier than ordinary salt. So we'll have that ready. And then I'm also going to be using some black pepper, and then just because I love chili, just a tiny bit of chili. So I have some chili flakes right here. So I think we're good to go to add the mushrooms right now. So we can add them. And then at this point is when you can add some seasoning. So I'll start with my salt. You have to tap it a bit. That's actually the difference between this and ordinary salt. It gets a bit solid. So I'm just going to add a bit of my pepper, just a little bit. Stir that up. And then lastly, just a bit of chili flakes, not too much, but just enough to give it a small, heat of something. And then of course it depends with who you're cooking for. If the person likes a lot of chili, then by all means just go ahead and add as much as you want. So just put a little bit, just to flavor it up. So the mushrooms are cooking well, and now at this point I just want to add some garlic. So I have garlic here. It's already inside the garlic press. So I'm just gonna add, I'm using 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm just gonna press that in. Use my knife. And then we let that fry for just a few more minutes. And then the last thing that we get to do is add some balsamic. So I have some balsamic vinegar here that I'm just going to use. Just pour in a few splashes. And we're almost done. So I'm just giving it a few more minutes so that the garlic can cook through and for the balsamic to just bring all the flavors together. So that's more or less ready. I'm going to switch it off and transfer it to a pan, rather a bowl. So I'm just going to move it there and then we'll just transfer that. So that is ready, and then now next we are going to be moving to making our egg. So guys, next we're moving to making the eggs. We're just going to make simple fried eggs. We have 2 eggs here. Then we're going to use this small pan for the eggs, and I actually got this pan from Mr. Price and it served me really well. So just put on the gas, and then we're just going to break in our eggs. And just before that, I will line it with a bit of oil, just a little bit, not too much. And for this egg, I'm not going to put any spices. I'm just going to salt it, and that's it, because the mushrooms and the onions have enough spice for us already. So I'll just wait for that to heat up just a bit. I think we're getting there. Yep. And then now I will just pack my eggs in it. So I like my eggs sunny side up, which obviously means it's not cooked through. Rather the yolk is not totally cooked through, and I like the idea of it just being runny and just flowing down to the sandwich. So that's what I'm going for with this one. So I'm not going to cook it all the way through, it's just going to be sunny side up, as I said. So again, a bit of salt, just give it a go, then we let that cook. So the eggs are cooking really well, and I want them to cook as much as it can on that side. So by the time I'm flipping it over, it's not really a running mess. So just give it a few more minutes, or rather a few more seconds, and then we get to flip it. So I think that's good enough. So wish me the very best in this flip. Woo! So this side is going to cook less than the other side, just because I want the yolks to remain runny. So you don't overcook it if you like it the way I do. So yeah, I think that's actually ready. And I'm trying my very best to ensure that I don't break the yolk, because it's only supposed to be broken once it's in the sandwich. So here, that's done. Now we can move on to the next step, which is finally making the bacon, the icing on the cake, literally. So we'll move that to the side and then get our pan back and get it ready to make the bacon. So guys, we've been having our bacon defrost for the last couple of minutes, and as you can see, it's already totally defrosted. You can see it's, you know, properly done. So I'm just going to pat the whole thing dry, and then I'm just slicing it open. So we're gonna cook the whole packet, just because it's not very healthy to defrost something and then, well, meat, and then you know, freeze it again. It's not very healthy because you can easily expose your food to bacteria. Yes, so we are good to go. My pan is getting a bit hot. I will just add a bit of oil, and I'm not making it in any fancy kind of way. I'm simply just going to fry it with oil, and that's it. So I'm using streaky bacon, as you can see, just because I feel like it will be better to assemble in the sandwich compared to collar bacon. So at this point, you kind of have to work fast so that you ensure that they're all cooking roughly around the same time. So I've just filled the pan and I'm just going to cook it for like a good 3-4 minutes and then turn it. And I'm using my tongs, and as you can see, it's also non-stick, and I just find them easier to, you know, pick and turn it over. So I'm just using my tongs to spread them out and just make sure that each slice of bacon has enough surface area on the pan to cook. And what you want to avoid is just making sure that the bacon is not like on top of another piece. That way each of them gets an equal opportunity and enough heat to cook through. We don't want raw meat here. See the beauty of the tongs, I can just lift them up, and then I'm just going to drain that excess fat and put them on the plate. So the last step here, I promise, is we're just going to toast some bread. Now I don't have a toaster, but you can easily use the same pan, and I'm going to use this pan once again, not only because it has the mushroom and onion flavor, but now it also has bacon fat, which is amazing. Can you guys just hear me salivating? So I'm just going to lightly fry a slice of bread, so that when I assemble my sandwich, I'm working with something which is a bit hard and not necessarily something that will easily get soggy just because of all the juices in the different things that we've made. So I'm just using ordinary bread. This is what is it? It's original 8-grain bread, so it has a bit of nuts. So I'm just gonna fry it in there, and it's just going to suck up all the juices from the bacon and from the fried mushroom and onion we had. So at this point your pan will start smoking, so do not be alarmed. It just means that, you know, the heat is being spread through the pan. So as you can see, the bread has soaked up all the oil and the yumminess. So we're just waiting for it to get a bit harder. It's getting there slowly, and then when it's fully toasted, we get to assembling the whole sandwich, and then of course the fun part where we get to eat it. So it's hard and ready. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it off the pan and let it sit for a minute as we prepare to assemble the whole sandwich. So guys, we're getting towards the end. So for the fun part, we are going to assemble the whole sandwich. So we are going to start with our toast. As you can see, it's nice and hard. Then from there, we're going to move to the fried mushroom and onions. Just be generous with it, just lay it in there. So if you prefer using a bigger piece of toast, even better, that means just more for you. Then from there we're going to move to the egg. Don't worry, my hands are very clean. And then we are going to move to the bacon. So you can put it however way you want. Again, be very generous, you're spoiling yourself, so why the hell not? So I think our bacon is ready. I'm just going to add, this is a spring onion, so I'm just going to generously also add that on the top. And then to finish off, we have avocado. So I already sliced my avocado, and I'm just going to put it in there. Actually, let me just use my hands because it might be easier that way. Go, and just before we finish, just a tiny dash of sauce. It's mostly for the avocado because everything else is properly seasoned. So, and then to lastly finish everything off, we have some sim, and we're just going to lightly spread that on the top, just like that. And there you go, your open sandwich is ready. So guys, I hope you enjoyed making this hearty breakfast with me. If you choose to recreate it, please tag me on my social media so I can go check it out. Please subscribe and like this video, and stay tuned for the next video for a whole new recipe. Thanks for watching. Bye.